Hi, my name is Adrian Taffinder. I decided to do this video today just because I go to a lot of networking meetings and people ask me what I do, and I've got multiple businesses that I'm developing, but also a service that I provide personally myself. Now, one of the businesses that I'm developing is called the Mind Expansion Academy. Now, the Mind Expansion Academy is a culmination of really 20 years of research for me. One thing that I said when I was a teenager was that if we could get all the information in the world and correlate it together and condense it, take out all the extraneous, spurious kind of parts and bits and things that don't match up, and then amalgamate everything that's left, you would actually have the meaning of life. You would have what is the truth, where we came from, what we're here, and why we're here, and how we got here. So it's really been my life's work, just researching that and looking into it and how we as humans develop, how society and, it's kind of leading into a new science, what they call epigenetics. It's no longer what we think is we create our environment. It's actually that our environment that creates us. And once you're aware of how your environment shapes you and creates you, especially if you'd watched one of my earlier videos when I was talking about basically 80 to 90% of everything you think, everything you feel, every reason how you act, literally everything you do in your adult life is governed by emotional response patterns developed before you were 12 years old. We're looking at about 60 and 70% of these established before you're even 7 years old, 50% of them before you're 5. So they're subconscious, and they're subconscious for a reason. Now, also, there's all sorts of things with society and spirituality, sound healing, light healing. All these things sound really weird. You've got all sorts of religious and cultural kind of backgrounds, and they all have got these little different stories and things like that from all over the world. Yet, when we actually now in modern day compare them with each other, all these things that kind of organically kind of was created by themselves, totally disconnected from each other, yet all of them actually have similarities and commonalities between them. So my mission with the Mind Expansion Academy is to open up your mind and allow you to see the world around you in a different way. In fact, around about 80% of our environment is made up in our own minds due to kind of perceived notions. We prejudge, we predict, we assume a lot of our environment, and we'll see things that are not there. A little classic example is when you see a little bit of fluff, you think it's a spider, and you're like, whoa, right, Your mind is designed to see things in certain ways. These all stem back to our Neanderthal kind of, hunter-gatherer days. And we've got to identify things quickly because it can mean our life. If we see something in the grass, we want to know whether it's friend or foe. And to be fair, the quickest and most reactive one is to take it as foe. And this is the problem in modern day and age. So I'll be addressing all these topics down to meditation, mindfulness, the psychology and the neuroscience, modern quantum physics, how it's proving, the chakra systems and the energetic system and the meridians, and how different techniques and methods can actually now reprogram your neural pathways, your neural architecture to become happier, healthier, more confident, higher self-esteem, more productive, higher thought processes. There's so many ways we can supercharge our potential. If you've seen the film Limitless, well, that talks about the amount of performance that we can have, and it uses a drug or a chemical. And the thing is in reality, any drug that we take has to have happened in reality to our body sometime in our evolutionary past. The reason is that drugs won't work unless they've got something to latch onto, and that's what they call neuropeptides. These peptides, these chemicals, which alter our way we process information and alter alter our DNA almost. They're naturally forming, and if you do certain exercises, certain techniques, you can actually reach that level of performance without any drugs or anything like that externally. So over a period of the next months and weeks and years, I'm going to be producing documentaries, vlogumentaries, which are going to be short documentaries done in small videos, taking you on a journey of exploration. What I want to do is to show you who you are, what you're made of, how you operate, and how you can modify it so you can truly achieve superhuman potential. One of my other businesses is called Energizing the Youth. Now, Energizing the Youth is a community interest company. One passion I've got is I believe everybody should give back to their community. I believe everybody should give back at least, well, I say tithing. So 10% of all the profit of any business that I produce and any business I build, I'm going to give 10% of the entire profits to charity, to a good cause. But you see all these, charities and things like that. There was one throwing buckets of icy water all over us. And when you dig deep, only, in some of these, only 10 to 15% of the money that's raised actually goes to the good cause itself. And you'll get directors with massive salaries and things like this, which, at the end of the day, if you're doing a charitable organisation or a community interest company, it's got to be in the interests of the community or the charity, not the people that's running it. And seeing as I'm wanting to give 10% of my entire money to something, I don't want to earn profit from it. The business shouldn't earn profit. Well, the business will earn profit, but it's not for personal gain. It's for community interest. So that's why I've decided to set it up as a CIC, Community Interest Company. Now, I've got a lot of contacts in the renewable energy business. I had a business before. We were developing, large-scale solar farms, large-scale commercial projects, and they're highly profitable, products. Now, what I'm looking to do is crowdsource fund. We're going to create renewable energy projects, and we're going to sell shares in those projects at just £10 a share. So you could buy just one share, or you could buy 1,000 shares, or 10,000 shares, or 100,000 shares. It doesn't matter. We've got projects that are going to range from £50,000 up to £5 million, or maybe even above. So we'll have an opportunity for you to invest in a community interest program. We're going to have complete transparency of all the financials. We're going to do things like biomass, anaerobic digestion, vertical organic farming, aquaculture, and we're going to develop all these things. One passion of mine is I believe that energy, I believe that food and water should be a God-given right. Should there be an innate right of you being alive? And I believe that government and society should provide these as part of collaborating, about being together. I think the profit way, the old paradigm is dying. If you look all around the world, governments are falling, everything's falling apart, the monetary system's falling apart. And what we need to do is, we can't try and fix it. You just don't fix what's broken. Create something new. And this is what it's all about. It's creating new business ideas, new concepts, and encouraging other people to do the same. I believe that if every company and every business and every individual in this country or in the whole world gave 10% of their profits and 10% of their time to a local good cause, some charity or youth interest, which is where my passion lies, then I believe we'll sort all the world's problems out, should I say, in a very short space of time. I believe that we could literally turn this planet around in the next 10 to 20 years, transform it, just drop all the financial mechanisms which are corrupt, drop all the political systems which are just so intrinsically tied to the financial systems, funded by the financial systems and corrupted by the financial systems, and create a new way of operating. And that's what it's all about. And why it's Energizing the Youth? Well, with my other business, I want to inspire people to think and act differently and be the change they wish to see. I believe people, need educating and inspiring to do things a different way. The old way hasn't worked. We need a new way. It's as simple as that. And I'm not here to say that I'm going to change the world. That's not what I'm here to say. I'm here to tell you that the world is changing, whether you like it or not. It's changing all around us. Now, if you watch the mainstream media, it looks like everything's doom and gloom, there's war, there's famine and all this kind of stuff. But if you come away from that, because the mainstream media, to be fair, we're spoon-fed. We are. It doesn't tell us what really is going on in the world. You get on social media, you get onto grassroots projects, you will see the amount of good that's happening in the world. And there's a lot of massive corporations, there's a lot of countries that are just doing things differently. If we look at Iceland, how they jailed all the bankers, jailed all the corrupt politicians, created a sovereign state, and they're one of the most flourishing, economies on the planet at the moment. Look at Greece. It was their financial debt mechanisms which got them into so much trouble. Their debts doubled for no reasons whatsoever, because of Wall Street and things like that. This is changing. And it's not me that's changing it, it's all of us that's changing it. We're the 99%. And if we speak up and say, this is what we want, and we are the change we wish to see, then the change will happen. And all I want to do is play my part in facilitating that change. Now, I'm writing some books on it, and I'm going to be creating a lot of documentaries and all sorts of things, again, to get this message across, to show you that there is a better way. There is a better way of thinking, and there is a better way of doing, and that's what we've got to do. So, thank you very much for your interest. Please engage with me on my YouTube channel. One more thing that I want to cover as well is, for me personally, one thing that I do, which I've been training for the last couple of years very intensely, is some very clever coaching, mentoring and almost therapeutic exercises. It's nothing like you've experienced before. It uses modern neuroscience techniques, sound healing, light therapy and all sorts of things to dissolve and disintegrate self-limiting beliefs, emotions, old trauma. We all have bad relationships, we all have bad experiences when we were young, we all have bad experiences in business and things like that. And these things, these experiences, can prevent us from taking chances and taking opportunities in the future. Because when we get offered them, we kind of internally get triggered and feel, oh no, I'm a bit resistant to that because it doesn't feel right. And what it is just your body remembering what happened before and say, wait, just a minute, stop. If you do that, there's a risk. But there's a risk with everything. There's a risk with getting out of bed in the morning. There's a risk with driving your car to work. But we'd still do these things. So if there is opportunities, if there's things in your life which are causing you stress, causing you anxiety, if you're at a plateau where you can't seem to get past a certain point in your life, or there's things that keep happening to you over and over again, what it is your belief patterns and your awareness patterns that are attracting you to these things. So what I want to do is I want to reach out to everybody out there who wants to investigate these on a deep level, learn how to delete them, reprogram them, so you can literally create harmony and bliss in your life, which will accelerate your success, accelerate your mind, and really supercharge your performance and make you truly limitless. So get in touch, keep watching my YouTube channel, subscribe to my Facebook group, join us on Twitter. We're developing the website. That's not quite out yet. There's a lot of content that we're creating. What we want to do is we want to give you the best information and the best techniques, training, tools and everything like that that you could possibly need to accelerate your life and your happiness. So thanks again. Really appreciate you taking your time to watch my video, and I look forward to speaking to you or maybe seeing you at one of the seminars or training and things like that in the future. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.